Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel. Gaining clarity, exposing Sean Combs. But let me say something before I get into this. She actually explains with this case right here. Again, I'm going to state this is looking at everything with no judgment. So the tapes, all those things, so the downloads come in so fast, and as much as when you're watching videos, you start to get information. Again, DNA. I had heard of untainted evidence was one of the downloads that came in. And again, if you don't know, when our downloads come in, then we start to understand why. Because I had said something about ballistics in one of my other videos, and people say it. Again, here in this video, she's explaining a lot. And the reason why I'm starting to where I'm going to start it at is because when I first, not started on my journey, but as far as really doing something with my gifts is when it became to about the date rape drug. And Mary High Priestess on her channel, she had did a video about it was the internet. It was a long time ago, but it was about the internet. People, finding people or whatever. But anyways, in that video, I was able to see the energy, and I started putting the energy together. Yes, it was difficult, and it's a real difficult process as far as to put energy together and put a face to it. Now it's simple; it's not a problem. But like I said, that's where everything started. So I believe maybe they took my first channel because I was putting out, mugshots of people. Like I said, it was very personal to me as far as that aspect. So I guess that's why I started and everything like that as far as on that part. Really, I did this journey. How do you know how to start a channel and all those kind of things? So I'm going to start right there. The reason why I'm starting this, like I said, the video there is because of what I just said. In here, there's several things that I want to speak on before I turn the video on. She was talking about, again, this case right here is a woman allegedly accusing Sean Combs of SA. And again, there's so many stories. And again, people want to say conspiracy theories and all these things. No, it's not conspiracy theories. It's... again, it's what you can prove. And so not everything you can prove, but again, if you have gifts and people believe in them, some people don't, but it doesn't really matter because now we're not talking about that. We're talking about straight facts, and we're talking about evidence. Because yes, why the celebrities are not saying anything because of the RICO charge. And I'm not saying they're not saying anything. Maybe some people, in the very beginning, if they were caught on tape or if they did anything. See, you can't convict somebody because of their sexual preference, what they've done behind doors, if they've done threesomes, if they've taken drugs in the past and had fun, whatever. We grow and evolve as we get older. So it doesn't really matter about anything like that. So the way, they're trying to convict him on the what is it? The allegations of all these freak offs. Well, they're saying certain things. Well, you're right. It doesn't really matter. It does matter. Even if, let me say something, even if the freak offs with the tapes, as far as Cassie and all those parts, they weren't recorded in his home and they recorded, well, you can get people to say, yeah, we participated in everything, and that's fine. So there'd be no trafficking. Let's just say that. Let's just think like that. Let's think logical now and outside the box. Because without evidence, without that smoking gun, you have nothing. So that's why a lot of people win cases because of, well, witness tampering, disappearance, and people just don't want to get on the stand. So the thing is, I'm not going to get into a lot of what I'm going to be exposing because this one right here is very crucial because it's a case that's going to be coming up. And as I was listening, there was something that she was speaking on and it went over. So the first thing was the door. Well, when they came back, she said the door was kind of jarred and she had to, explain something. Well, there shouldn't have been no explaining there. Is that when she came back, I believe what it was is that he had to explain why was the door ajar. Because that would be something I would look at. Especially a young lady going to a man's house that you just met a month ago or whatever the case is, and he called you over for a reason and to help him, like she said, with some medication, and then all of a sudden he wants you to go for a ride in a vehicle. I'm sure that you probably, when she left, the door was closed, and then all of a sudden he had to explain why that door is open. So I think that is where that part is. That's my view on that. Then she speaks on a couple of things. Now, I wasn't too sure as she was talking as far as the allegations, because again, nobody wants to believe what they don't see. Just like if anybody's protecting anybody, they might be protecting them, but they're like, well, at least it's not me. No, that's not how it goes either. And people are speaking out. I think a lot of people are speaking when they're speaking out. Everybody, rappers, people are powerful, but everybody was friends with Diddy, and then they found out Diddy crossed them, and that's just people on the get back, But they know what type of man that is. Again, so we're not here to judge, and that's the part where we have to think logically and outside the box. Because you're right, everybody's proving innocent until guilty, unless you're guilty, and then you got to prove yourself innocent. Let's say in that case, because there has been so many, again, accusations. But throughout the time, and this is where everything comes in, I don't even know about like this case and a lot of the cases. So as much as it is, where I've been. And this one, what she's speaking on, because she's talking about TMZ, which people have a lot of questions. How do they get access to a lot of things? And I'll expose a lot of things as far as what in other videos. But this one, I want to be very transparent and very to the point. So when she was talking in this, she brought up several key points, but there was one key point that I don't even know if anybody realizes it, because the cops, there may not even be she said she called the cops. She said there was witnesses that came across, and you'll hear it here in a second, but I'm just trying to explain this before you watch it so you can have some key points to pay attention to. I've watched this several times going back to try to put the pieces together as far as the one that shot the gun. But this is a thing. They were talking about a specific person, and the reason why Sean Combs allegedly assaulted this woman, no allegations. She said she called the cops, all these things. So let's say for one instance, this is somebody we don't know, he's in whatever. So there's no police report. Let's say he's not a powerful person in the conspiracy theory. So maybe the police was called, but they didn't fill out the report, okay? Because they're saying Sean Combs is very powerful. He has influences to the FBI, to the government, to, cops, all those things. Well, I believe this took place, and she says it where it's at. Because I actually had to look it up, and I wanted to look remote view, but I wanted to look at the area of where it is, where the houses are. Because it's very important with the information that comes out on it as far as what people are saying. So after allegedly they did the assault, a young Tupac and a man, and that's what I was trying to go back if it was his bodyguard, because there was only 4 people there, so one was a bodyguard. So here we go. If it was his bodyguard or whoever the case is, because they say John Doe's, but it's because of the gun. And that's the significant part. So if it was a bodyguard, then I'm sure that gun would have to be registered now. It probably wouldn't be found, or if they, whatever the case is. It doesn't really matter, because let's just say there's no police report. There's no, they couldn't find the witness that she's talking about, that the homeowner. Let's say even the homeowner that lives there, because this was done in 2018, the homeowner doesn't live there. The people aren't there. Whatever the case is, okay? it doesn't really matter because people want to believe what they want to believe. Okay, so okay, 10:10 as I start this message again. So let's just say, well, because in the paper, what she's reading off, she explains everything. So listen closely because this is really disturbing. And again, not no judgment. It's just what it's in the statement and what happened. I mean, it's truly horrific. You can actually just get from there the energy, honestly, of the inhumane people that did things to people. So I just want to say that because this is just disgusting. And again, anyways, I just sorry. So when she's speaking, well, there was several things that that happened, but the other key note was that Sean Combs called his mother. Okay, and again, I said parents will lie for their parents, whatever. They love their parents unconditionally. Okay, let's just say children love their parents. Children love their parents unconditionally. Anyways, so most parents, well, not most parents, no, because I'm not gonna say that. A person like I guess his mother, and I'm just gonna have to say that because if when she's on a phone, and I'm not gonna say alleged because this happened. Okay, I'm sorry. That's just blah blah blah. Anyways, the reason why he called his mother because his mother, you need to understand, she knows how to break women down, and then the way she was screaming, I can imagine already from hearing the way she spoke on that phone. Even after the young lady said, "Your son sexual assaulted me," and then the high pitched screaming, "Take that money," all this stuff, and it's like it's really, it paints the pictures of people of their true, their true energy. You know, they can portray a picture, like I said before, who you are behind closed doors, who you are outdoors. And when I mean that is, you are the same person behind closed doors as you are out, and really your heart. That's what it is about who you truly are as far as the spirit and all those things. But you can't be one way. And we're talking about, you can't just be portray yourself one way on the camera and then be one way behind closed doors. And this is a thing. Talking about all these things. No, I don't have no parties, all those kind of things. No threesomes, things like that. So these things, again, I am who I am. I'm not alone. My ancestors are around me. I don't want to get into none of that right now because I am speaking logically now. Because the smoking gun. Now, allegedly Sean Combs and a man were arguing in the backyard after the assault was done. Okay? And now, here we go. Even his close people, and I'm just going to say, when he heard it, because I was trying to go back and see if it was his bodyguard or who it was, and it even threw that man out because that's why he pulled his gun out on Combs. So it's like, what are you talking about, Pop? So this is the part where a lot of things are too, as far as allegedly. Well, allegedly, that's why they are pulling the RICO charge out now. The RICO charge is, listen, anybody with any affiliations to anybody in that organization that's tied to anybody, it doesn't matter if you know him or not, to the minions on the streets, to the higher ups, even the higher ups, they all can be charged. They can all be tied in because now you got a RICO charge. So that's why everybody is scared, because if they speak and they say anything, their testimony can be used. And I'm saying testimony because we're talking about videos. Everybody's videoed or whatever the case is. So if any celebrity speak on anything, they know they can be charged. And they probably knew about this before. Like Oprah and all of them. They say they're not tied. Yes, they are. Come on now. So that's why everybody has been not saying anything, because they don't know exactly what Sean is saying, and they don't know exactly what the government saying, what they know, the evidence. But everybody is not, they know what not to say. And just if you don't say anything, then you're innocent. Let's just say that. So if you stay quiet and keep yourself back, they can't say anything. Just like these young sons out there living it up and all that stuff. Right here, boys, you're going to be serving time too. Sean Combs, but anyways, I don't want to say none of that because I want to put the facts, because this piece of the puzzle is very crucial for this actual case. Because as much as it sounds like it's all made up, it's truly not, man. We got to think outside the box now. 1511. We got to see the signs and synchronicities come from our ancestors. But anyways, I don't want to go into that. I did say a prayer for Sean's family. You know, and I say right now, Sean, you know, Lord, protect his children, protect him. Give him the strength to move forward, to sit by himself. Because it's not easy to look at yourself when you're behind whatever it is. But when you have to look at yourself truly, you understand what it is. And when you sit and you realize, and they look at the Lord and they ask for forgiveness or whatever it is, then you truly have to start looking at yourself. And that's what people can't do. And that's where's that? But Lord, at this time, put your hands over their family. Keep them safe, you know, from any harm. And amen. So anyways, that's how powerful. Again, they're getting what they deserve. Look at, that's it. But we can pray for another person no matter what. Because, again, these are learned actions, so I don't want to get too long into this. Again, because this is why this lady was assaulted. And it's just, I mean, it shows you to the magnitude of somebody's ego. Because as making things make sense, the series that I'm going to be debuting, I got to make it make sense for people to think outside the box, because this is really horrific, and how they controlled the narrative for so many generations. And that's why we've been back here lifetimes and lifetimes, because we need to know who we truly are. But anyways, this case is very significant because it's showing the key elements of everything from KK assisting everybody, his mother yelling at the lady, knowing that people are being raped, and shut your mouth, that's my son. You're lying. Lady, you're lying. My son didn't do that to you. Just take the money because he didn't do nothing to you. Just shut your mouth. Don't say anything. You're her mom, baby. You see the narcissist and everything anyways. But do you see the narcissist as somebody that is, are you serious calling your mother? Mama, she don't listen. She don't want to take the money, Ma. She don't want to take the money, Ma. Can you do something, please, Ma? Like, I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine it, because who would call their mom in the middle of a crime? In the middle of the, that does sound far-fetched. Right there, I'm going to say, even right there, I just can't picture that, actually, tell you the truth. So I'm just going to go ahead and just say, no, he's not guilty. But anyway, no, it sounds really funny to me on how somebody would call their mother after they committed such a horrific crime. And that goes to the point that everybody, key players, well, there was only, what, 4 that were alleged John Doe's in the sexual assault. And then I guess KK, I believe. And then, well, then Diddy's mom would be on the phone. Pretty much that's what, right there. So right there, you have a corporation right there, but you have the driver sitting outside, the people inside doing the assaults and all this. And then the other lady, see, everybody's speaking innocent. No, nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty, no matter what. That's a part people don't understand. But anyways, allegedly, and this is why it's so important, because let's say, that's why a lot of cases don't get justice and things like that, because of evidence. So let's just say they paint this picture and we don't have, let's say none of this evidence has ever came out. And this is the first one that Sean is being charged of. And because there's several accusations, alleged ones that came out. Let's just say this is the first case that is being tried and nothing else came out. Nothing about freak offs, nothing. And now is this winnable? Because again, the cops, there's no, they didn't let it out. They can't find the police record. They can't find that. Again, they're saying there's witnesses that came through. Everything, yes. And what if they couldn't find none of them? Well, this is the thing. And I want you to listen very carefully. They said untainted evidence. That's why I went and looked at 1922. That's why I went and looked at where this house would be at, and how, if it's something that's new construction or what the case is. And it seems like they're older homes, but you don't have the address, so you can't really see. And I don't know if they'd have landslides, but what people missed, and the little keys of the keys are very, but pieces of the puzzle are, when she was reading over everything, let's say there's no There's no police record, none of that. And let's just say that's how the reach that somebody would have, they could all that. But we're gonna speak logically now. So there's no evidence, and let's just say now, because in this one right here, they are saying that in the that there was a gunshot. Now 2020, as I said this, because as I channel and I start to channel, my ear will start to itch inside. So I know when my guides are talking to me, and when I'm on my monies, on the money, when they are bringing me things to expose. And first and foremost, it's about the broken hearts, and it's about helping innocent victims get justice. And that's what we have forgot about overall in everything, no matter if you've got money or you don't, because money is just energy, and it's going to be taken as quick as going. That's why higher ups, they're going to be exposed. My gifts have gotten so enhanced, and it's not even funny, but I'm not going to speak about that part, because this is about a young lady getting justice and getting the missing piece of the puzzle for her. Because if there's no evidence in anything, 2111, 2112, and how would you explain it? Well, I'm sure because you got good trial attorneys. Look, they got LJ off. I'm just saying. But how would you explain, if you would listen to what they're saying in that description, that a gun went off, was elaborate as Sean has, and it shows that at that point, 2018, that everything is taken care of, because he popped up and just like boom, allegedly. But everything is the pieces of the puzzle. Well, the only piece that they didn't actually expect is all the evidence, and you can disappear anything. But when I was listening to the video and it hit me, it was boom. And I was like, what? Well, there's no evidence. Let's just say, because it's so, again, man, it's so, you got to make it make sense. You have to. Well, when he shot that gun, they didn't go dig that bullet out. Did you hear what I said? They did not dig the bullet out of the backyard, okay? That's why it's very important, and that's why the download, the way it came in, is untainted evidence. Because if you find a bullet, let's just say, for one instant, that people were watching my videos and thinking outside the box. Well, they go to that, because there's only certain people that know where that instant took place and what backyard it is. And like I said, if you couldn't find anybody, but there's the powerful sonars that they have, digging equipments. Believe me when I tell you, that bullet is still there. That's why the downloads come in, and ballistics and everything, because that is such a key piece of evidence that people missed. And it's not even a piece of evidence, because that's how, I'm going to say, missing piece. Because if they find a bullet, if they find that bullet in that backyard, that means, and I'm going to say it again, that means, and I'll say it one more time because 3 is very significant. That means everybody has been telling the truth to an extent, because there should not be a bullet behind that yard. And if there are, then they'll see that maybe there was a war there. Who knows? But the way the download came in, no. That's why it came across my feed and everything. And she explains a lot as far as it makes it really clear. But it's so fathomable to hear what people are saying. So this one is very, very crucial, because now they're hitting people individually. People are scared. But if you, and again, you go find that bullet that was shot when that man was upset because he found out right there that, because Diddy said in his, if anything, about his, that he took him out. That's when anybody, friends or not, man, you take out some, first of all, it's light, but come on, man, anyways. And so people find out, and that's like, oh my God, what are you talking about? And he was going to kill, like he was going to shoot P. He was going to, like I said, I mean, come on now. But you got to think about it. Like I said, somebody that even assaulted woman, and again, I didn't know where that part fit in. It's just because the way everything goes. But the ballistics of that bullet, because if anything is, let's just say There's no evidence of anything. And you go find that bullet in that backyard, because the house is still there. Just like she said, you could find the neighbor across the street, even if you couldn't find out. And maybe she passed away. Let's just say that. And then there's no any kind of record of the police report and everything. Let's just say that. Or maybe somebody fumbled a ball on accident. Let's just say that. You got to think outside the box. So that part is, hey, it's explainable. Again, things happen. Nobody's perfect on their job. So let's just say that. And then, all these things are here. And even if the house, it got tore down or whatever the case is, but that yard's still there. And that house is there because when I looked at it's in the hills, and the houses are old. So, who's ever pieces of the puzzle, that gun was shot in whatever the case is, and they're saying it right there because it's coming out 25, 55. You go look and go excavate that backyard, and she's gonna tell you because the young lady's gonna know it's where that bullet went. They never went and dug that bullet out, so that is your damning evidence. That evidence right there will still deliver Sean Combs for that case, but for many more, many, just too many's to come, because changing the narrative. We're not changing the narrative like they did, still in Destinies. We're changing the narrative back to us. And it's not even changing the narrative. It's just being logical and thinking outside the box. Because people cannot believe a person is this evil. Well, you got to believe it because it's right in front of your face. It's been there for years. But this right here is just explaining everything on how a person's soul doesn't have a soul. They sold it to the devil. And that's what has happened over over generations. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start the video there. Hopefully you're still here. But missing pieces of the puzzle. Listen to what she said. And it's all right there about sons. And I'm starting right here because of the baby oils. Go in